that I love you more than you'll ever know.
If anything I've learned as I've gotten older is to not take it serious or make it about me. Just it's a totally cool thing to get to just be spiritual in music. Just write music and be with your friends and see the world and be grateful, you know what I mean? It's like I think because the things that were serious, with my mental health, that's serious. Career is not serious, if it does well, if it doesn't do well, it doesn't have any determining on joy. I think that joy is about being healthy and being awake, being aware of how beautiful it is to be alive. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things, the older I get, thankfully, the more I become aware of that. And that's what's important. I think when I was younger, it was so based on, my values is based on what other people think of me. And then as you get older in life, you realize that no, that has nothing to do with it. So it's nice. He's a trauma specialist. So at that time, I couldn't, leave the house. So I would only work with him or be at home. And so he said, it's probably better to not do this as a career because the pressure is too much for making your mind bad. And then, so I did. I didn't make music for a year at all. I didn't touch the piano. And then finally one day he said, you can make music, just maybe not the career. He goes, you can still make music though. God gives you music to be happy, not to have a career. So I started making music again, and then something in me said, yeah, I can do this as a career, but I have to do it on my terms. I can't do it the way everybody tells me I have to do it. If I'm gonna do it, I have to be strong enough to say to a record company, this is what I can do, and this is what I cannot do. You're gonna make less money working with me, you may make no money working with me, but this is what I can handle and this is what I can't. And when I was able to set those boundaries, I got very, very lucky with the record company that said, yes, we support you in that. We will do what you can do instead of pushing you to try and make you big famous and make a bunch of money. None of that. And I was very blessed. I got with a guy named Ed who runs the record company now since I was 35, I think I got with him, and I'm 47 now. And he's just been amazing. They do not overwork me at all. They're not allowed to. And I feel really grateful for that because I can make music, but not be sick trying to make music.
I could be queen of everything.
Well, I don't consider myself a blues artist at all, and I do not think that you need to make blues or rock or jazz or whatever it is to express yourself. It doesn't matter what style of music it is. Whatever works for you and makes you feel good, that's all that matters. And I like lots of different music. I always have. I was raised on a lot of music. I listen to a lot of different genres of music. And so that's what I do. Oh, it was very simple. At the time I was making a record with a producer named Mike Bradford, and he was simultaneously making a record for Deep Purple. So he just asked me, hey, they didn't ask me, he asked me, you wanna do a few, that's all, yeah. I love being in Romania, this time the most of any time, and I think it's because this time I got to be able to spend more time here. So he's been taking us for dinners the last couple of nights and all family style, and we've been able to do like 3-4 hour dinners last night and the night before also, and then we got to go to the salt mine yesterday afternoon. So it's way better this time because now I'm actually getting to get out and see some of it, It doesn't matter to me if it's the nature or the city. I always enjoy myself, and everywhere we've ever been, I've always enjoyed it. It's awesome, man. The world is big and it's beautiful and it's different. So it's awesome. Well, I didn't know about the Royal Albert Hall when I was little because I didn't, I'm from Los Angeles, so I never knew about that place. I didn't find out about Royal Albert Hall until I got into my latter 30s, and Diana Krall was doing a DVD at the Royal Albert, and I'm a big Diana Krall fan, and I remembered watching a little bit of her DVD and thinking, wow, that must be so amazing to play a place like that. But I never grew up yearning to play, I need to play this place, or I didn't think in like that. I just grew up thinking, I hope I get to do this to the end of my life. It doesn't matter if it's in a small club or if it's even if it's on the street, it doesn't matter. It's just, I just wanted to do this for the rest of my life. That's all.
Said I love you. I love you more than you.
Well, all of my songwriting is only my personal experience. I can't write for anybody else's. I can't write someone else's feelings. So it's always how I'm feeling. I don't know how to do it any other way. I go to the piano to write just to get through the day, whatever's going on. So for instance, the song Fire on the Floor, I had written many, many years before I ever made the record Fire on the Floor. So what I do is I'm always writing. So every time it's time to make a record, I just turn in like 35 or 50 songs to the producer, and I love them all, and they choose what songs they want to do, and I don't care which ones they choose because I love them all. And I try and always work with a different producer because it forces me out of comfort and it makes me stretch out a little bit. You always learn something when you work with new people. I think that's important. It's more of my manager's idea than my idea because I'm so insecure. I tend to feel comfortable with certain people, and so I want to stay with them. And my manager says, no, it's not good for you as an artist. You have to stay uncomfortable, work with new people, try new things. And he's right. So I really trust David. I've been with David since I was 22. So he's just a great manager, a great man. And he's really right about that, and I'm glad he does that, So when I made Better Than Home, that was very difficult because one of the two producers was dying of cancer, and he was suffering a lot, and he was angry, and I'm very sensitive, and so his anger would come towards me. So I hated him, and I felt sorry for him because I knew he was dying. But the whole experience of it was just too much for me. So as soon as the record was done, we did a week in New York, I went home, I listened to the first pass of the rough mixes, and I just felt all that anger and sadness. So I immediately called this guy I know named Oliver Lieber, and I said, I want to make another record right now, like this week. And these are the songs I have. And I turned in a bunch of stuff for Fire on the Floor. I turned in over 30 songs. And then Oliver chose the stuff. He put a band together, a great band. And we went in and made Fire on the Floor in 3 days. So long before Better Than Home was even released, we had already recorded Fire on the Floor record. Well, I don't really work with Joe on any of the records. I work with Kevin Shirley, his producer. So what we do is we email each other back and forth songs that we want to do for the record. That's how we've done it, all records. And then the band, everybody gets the songs, they learn everything, because we're not writing, we're only covering songs. And then we show up to the studio, no rehearsal, go directly to our instrument or the mic, whatever, and we record simultaneously together. And that's how all the three, Don't Explain, Seesaw, and Black Coffee was done. But the first two records were with a different band. And then Black Coffee, there was a few other outside people that hadn't been there before, like the bass player Michael Rhodes. I'd only worked with him on one of my personal records, Bang Bang Boom Boom. And then there was a second guitarist who I'd never met. And then there was a keyboardist named Reese. So it was a little bit of a different configuration, but otherwise the first two were with the original band that Kevin Shirley had put together. So I do all that work with Kevin. I don't work with Joe on that. I only work with Joe in the studio when we're recording. Every night's a different set list because I can't do the same show over and over. I would hang myself out of boredom. And also, I want, as a singer and as my band, to be a little scared and uncomfortable and not too familiar. Because if it gets too comfortable or familiar, it becomes showbiz and phony to me. So we're always changing. So tonight, it's a collection of songs from some stuff I did with Joe and different albums that I've done on my own. And then I like to use whatever the Facebook poll is of what people in that area want to hear, and then I interject all that and then make a set. I didn't know we were filming this. That's great. Hey guys, I hope you have fun tonight. It's Beth Hart. We can't wait to play it for you. Huge love. Woo!
Thank you very much.